Good evening, y'all. It's 7:10 Eastern Standard Time. Right clock to 7 minutes fast.
One more time, my area. See if you can get out here. I'm a mile for 4 miles.
All right, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can still hear you.
Kind of losing me down there, though, right?
I got quite a bit of static now, but I can hear you. So you're making a trip out around.
All right, I appreciate that. Thank you. Y'all heard that, right? So there was somebody out there tonight that responded. I found the other CB and I hooked it up, the one that I mentioned in the last video. And that one was a piece of junk compared to this one. I figured this one must have been the last one that he was using, Lisa's grandfather, because he's the one I inherited these from. Because this is the one that had a plug on it to plug into the lighter. So I'm going to take a chance on it and plug it back in. And I scrolled it to 19 and I talked on it a couple times, and that guy was like 5 miles away on 75, and just now he was down by 4 Mile, which is like, I don't know, six miles or so from here, 7 almost. So, and he's like, when he was only like 4 or 5 miles away, he's like, you're blowing my speaker out, man. So this is actually, it says Radio Shack on it. It's a Radio Shack radio, but it's really good. You see? But yeah, it's what, the 7th? It's Tuesday. I know that. We'll see here. Yeah, it's the 7th. And I've been doing some studying on stuff, you know, because what I do, you know, I also study, like, you know, because I know that not all my viewers, you know, and my students from the now defunct and gone private blog, that's gone now. But you know, I studied a little bit about their religions to try and understand stuff. So it's like I saw the correlation between, okay, you reap what you sow, to them means karma, you know, and karma to them means, well, you reap what you sow, what goes around comes around, if you do good, good comes back to you, blah, 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 blah. Some people think that karma is rigid and it's all about, you know, being born as something else when you die, but that's not actually what it's about. And, I did some studying today. I actually went to go back into that and discovered a bunch of other stuff that I felt inclined to share today. And because I was obedient, I was out here at the right time to catch this guy on 75 who will actually respond, because he's like, you know, you're getting a lot of that where people won't respond to you on the radio anymore. And you don't even hear them talking, so it's like a ghost town. And it's probably because of the iPhones and, you know, all the stuff that truckers got going. Plus, truckers can set their truck to drive itself, and they can just, like, kick back and, you know, look at stuff on their little iGadget or their phone or whatever. That's how, what's his name, from SNL, they got hit in the rear end when they were stuck in a traffic jam on a freeway. And one of his crew members died. But, damn, I forgot his name. I never found him that funny, but he was on SNL. And he was also he's the guy who said, damn little kid, in Jay and Silent Bob. I don't know what you're saying, but you're touching my heart. Some shit. That was almost funny. I think he could have delivered it more funny. Tried a few more takes. But anyway, I did some studying, and it's like some interesting stuff that this particular thing, that, you know, the delusion, the latest great delusion, you know, because we're in the era of the great delusions, you know, and it's being perpetuated. And it's amazing that, you know, they may have known before some of us that, you know, they need to censor to try and silence the fire from the mouths of the two witnesses. You see, and they're not going to be able to stop that fire from their mouths, okay? It's actually them trying to snuff it out is going to make it go out even more. And this particular thing, if you study it and what they're doing behind the scenes, you know, they're erecting something. You know, it has to do with signals, right? Frequencies traveling in the air. We don't need them stronger. We don't need them faster. And we sure don't need them to be able to pinpoint and kill entities. And we don't need them to kill entities if they have a digital anything in their bloodstream. You see what I'm saying? We don't need any of that. Our society doesn't need that. There's other things we do need that won't get addressed. But anyway, this particular thing is utilizing fire from the frequencies, right? So it has opened the door for the fulfillment of the reciprocal prophecies regarding the two witnesses and the fire from their mouths, the fire from their tongues. It is actually not literal fire like a cartoon. They're not going around like fire-breathing dragons, burning everything. That's not how it works. How it does work is what they say is on fire. And it will go out as the word. It will not return void. You see? It's beautiful that every time they fulfill a negative prophecy, they actually enact reciprocity of a reciprocal prophecy, almost like they didn't think it out too well, you see? So then what these two witnesses have to do is, like right now, they're not known, you know, is they have to not be decommissioned with distraction, you know, and they have to rather be focused on this, focused on what the fire, you know, the power of life and death is in the tongue, especially the two witnesses, okay? The fire, what the fire can do. And you have to apply it to the enemies of Yah, those who created the necessity for the reciprocity for, you know, what they're doing. It's an engagement of frequency fire, okay? So we are required. Now, right now, I'm filling in the gap. I really don't see myself as one of the two witnesses. I'm too old for one. I'm just, it's like, I'm frail, but you can't tell, you know? It's like, I appear to be very healthy compared to how frail I've gotten in my old age. And, you know, I notice it when I do little stuff like I help somebody rake some grass. It's like, oh shit, I hurt myself, you know? So it's like, yeah, you know, so it's like I'm deceivingly frail for my age, so I don't see myself as one of them, but I do see myself as like I'm qualified in case like I have to fill in until like they get woke or, you know what I'm saying? Because like maybe they're like in a sleep, they're in a, you know, a slumber that has them distracted with everything that they should be rejecting, you know? They should at least not be participating and spreading it and retweeting it and, you know, glorifying it and talking about how awesome it is, especially like, okay, the personalities of these, you know, entities that they make famous, their personalities are fake. Don't believe me? Look up somebody like Ice Cube, right? You'll see the videos. Oh yeah, you know, hey, wow, he had a more privileged life than, you know, the average white dude. You see, I mean, you know, for his hatred of white people, it's like, damn, you lived really good compared to me, bro. You know, and you hate me. You're racist against me because of my skin color. I suffered more shit. I actually grew up in the ghetto. I actually was really part of a couple different gangs. I'm still affiliated. You know, if I want to be rolling like that, I can be. So it's like, you know, and I'll never let go of that. You'll never see me totally depart from the street because that's the only thing that proved to be true when I needed some shit. You see? So, you know, yeah, so you're like, well, why don't you go down there now? Well, you know, I've got different character now, okay? And I'm trying to do something else, okay? Like, I don't know why I'm in this spot, but things that are trying to drive me away from it ain't succeeding. I'm willing to go wherever God wants me to go, do whatever he wants me to do, with whoever he wants me to do it with. And, you know, if he ain't moving me, then he must not want me moved. If he ain't connecting me, he must not want me connected yet. You see? I think that I might have interaction with, you know, one of the two witnesses, if not both, in some capacity. in the near future. And even if we don't, I hope that, like, they will awaken. I pray for them to, because their power, is like two should put 10,000 to flight. See, if the three of us could connect, then, okay, that was algebraically to 10,000. Now, then algebraically from 1,000 to 10,000, do that again when you add a third person on it. If we could roll together as, the three, you see what I'm saying? Because of my office that I don't claim, and I'll never claim it, and, I do not actually approach it or want it, you know what I'm saying? But for lack of somebody else doing it, I will. And, so I do it because, well, it's right. You can't leave an office untended, that God needs tended. You see? So that's my whole reason for doing shit like that. It's okay, like I have some level of the fire frequency power. They probably think that I'm one of the two witnesses. I come closer to being like a mentor. You see? If they hung out with me, they would make a demand on my spirit, and they would develop good character. They would develop empathy for the things they should have empathy for. They would develop, they would evolve. They would develop characteristics that they didn't even know that they had. A higher character. They will become, just naturally rejective of things that are there designed to decommission them and to stop them from being on the ball, looking at what they're supposed to look at, addressing it with the fire, the frequency fire. So, it's like, I hope, and these entities, it's not a gender thing. It's not a male or female, thing. It's like, just because they're the two witnesses doesn't mean that they're male. They could be female, you see? So it's like, and I kind of have an idea who they might be, but in a way it's kind of unbelievable. But I know how unbelievable it is to others who know me or think they know me. They know who I was. I know how unbelievable it is to them that, God could actually get some use out of me in some capacity or use me in any way. And, I'm not one of them type of people that I'm up talking in front of you, not doing the work in the background that maybe I don't show you all the time. I do once in a while show you, hey, I'm on my hands and knees before I eat breakfast a lot of times, sifting litters, and I feed, birds and kitties, and it's like I'm busy. And you see, we need the two witnesses to address this propaganda, to bind it, and to lose truth, and to defy it about, the cats, okay? Because, well, no animals can get this. It's a lie, all right? And no animals can transfer it. But you see, they've started their campaign against cats again. Now, remember, it was how many years ago they started a campaign against cats that even Christians participated in, where you had people with followings on YouTube, Christians, telling people to kill their cats, because they could get parasites from them that will control their mind and make them serve the cat. That was propaganda, okay? My grandma never got that. She wouldn't serve cats. A cat that wasn't hers, she didn't care about that. She cared about her cats, you see? And she had cats all her life. I've been around cats all my life. I don't have a parasite in my brain that makes me want to serve cats. I don't particularly like cats. But I see that there's a need, because so many other entities are programmed to hate them. It's all just like a programming test. Can we get them to do? Can we get them to cause suffering? Can we get them to perpetuate murder? On animals even. You see what I'm saying? It's like whatever they can get people to do, they're getting off on it. We have to, with our frequency power, frequency fire power. Okay, we have frequency fire power. We have to utilize it. We can't be out there in the field and we're busy playing while everybody else is firing off, and we're getting bombarded, including you, if you're one of them stupid entities that won't stop promoting them and do your fucking job. Kid, All right, y'all.